right down, relax, open your ears real wide and say, give it to me straight, doctor, I can take it.
Kick the chocks out from under the wheels. Flaps up. No offense, Margaret. Contact. We're off. Rum, rum.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Oh, what heights will hit? On with the show. This is.
Good morning. So, yeah. I wake up. The YouTube's on in the background because I fell asleep sitting up drawing. And Vic and Dillard and Rex are going. And so I come back to the studio to have a cup of coffee and watch just as they sign off. So I thought, what the heck? I'll go live. I'm doing the morning brew a little later this morning with Pops and the gang. But I'm going to have some morning coffee now. It's always strange to wake up having fallen asleep while you were working on art. First thing you do is check to make sure you didn't vandalize the page you were working on. Dropping the link out there. On with the show, this is it. So, I had left the AC running back here in my studio, apparently, all night. I walked back here, and even though it's dead-ass summer in the Deep South, it was cold in here. So, I'm going to shoot the link over to Rex and to a few folks just to say good morning. And I gotta go shut the YouTube stream off in the living room. I can hear it echoing in the background. So you guys just sit tight. I'll be right back. Oh, my camera's giving me fits. Come on, camera, work. It's not the camera, it's the USB port. Try it again. All right, what the heck? All right. There we go. Now it's working. Oh. So let's call Rex and disturb him. I'll do it live. Here we go. flow coming off this thing. Can you guys hear that? Come in. I piddled around doing stuff and my coffee got warm instead of hot. Answer the phone, infidel.
Please leave your message for.
Just call you infidel.
I know you did. I was so tired tonight. I went in and got a couple. Well, they weren't cigarellos. They were the Swisher Sweets.
Okay.
Roll the window down and smoke them while I'm letting all that wind, because it's windy tonight. But man, I was dog tired. I was like, man, I'm gonna run off the road.
Oh, so you absolutely resorted to some nicotine.
Yeah, I gave myself, something to do so I wouldn't. My friend was trying to talk to me on the phone. That wasn't working, and then especially when you get to a zone that it wants to die out. And
I hear you. Hold on a second.
I think Vic's going to join us. Oh,
good morning, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
We're not streaming. Wow, are you streaming?
Yes, I'm live, baby. I'm live. I'll teach Vic to tease me. That was funny as hell. Hell no, Rosetta, you can't come on the stream. Hey, Doc, you want the link?
I told Vic he might want you in there to, you show some behind the scenes stuff, but I didn't know if you'd be done because you said Wednesday.
I'm still working.
Yeah.
Now,
Carol.
Yes.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going. It's okay. How are you
It's
doing?
going. It's going.
It's good to see you. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it seems like I remember, if not that exact same psych essay question from research methodology, one just like it that I had to do back in the day. You gave me a flashback.
Thank you for helping me, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of deja vu.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It was very much. When you're, it's surprising. Like even if you're working on a master's degree, or even if you're working on a PhD, every now and then you'll get into a class where they'll ask you stuff, and you go, "This has got to be a trick question because it's so obvious," But it's not. It's not. And I think sometimes that's just the professor being lazy and using recycled questions from like your undergrad or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they actually get to pick the questions. It's just what they're given to teach, because they're just facilitating the class. They're just
A lot of them, yeah. Now I'm going to brag a little bit. It's not this way now. I'm given to understand, but when I went to Mercer University, Mercer had some top-notch psych professors. I'm talking about some of the best in the country, and man, they were good. Like,
yeah, you gotta take some of those classes for what you're studying now, Carol.
Yeah, I know. They're all the ones I take right now are required.
Mm-hmm. But my least favorite, Carol, class of all of them was freaking research methodology, statistics, blah blah blah. I hated that crap.
Yeah, I'm not really enjoying this class at all. It's an 8-week course too.
Yeah. Let's see, we did 8-week sessions and 16-week semesters. So it was a 1 and a 2 at undergrad, and then you had to do another session 8 weeks at graduate level. Just a pain in the butt. Nasty stuff.
You're burning the butt.
Yeah, on top of it, I lost my funding. So
Yeah, I heard, but you know what? I'd fight that.
yeah, I'm appealing it.
Yeah. Yes, you should because you're on the home stretch. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, they want me to go back and explain why I got a B minus or less in all the classes that I got a B minus or less in.
Oh, well, even if you're on academic probation, a B minus isn't a violation.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, I have 2 GPAs, a financial one and an academic one, and I was never told about the financial one, and
Is that
I assumed that my academic one would be what they look at.
no shit? I guess that's what they meant by qualitative GPA versus
Well,
quantitative.
nobody explained that to me when I
I,
had this issue
I
last
never knew. Now, okay, I am bragging a little bit, but I maintained a 4.0 GPA all the time until I think it was my senior year of undergrad. Yeah, I got a B in a class and I'm so pissed off because I did it to myself. I earned the B. But that's the first time I ever noticed that you had 2 different GPAs. And I'm like, what the hell? What is this other GPA? Is this going to hurt me even more? But apparently that's what that was.
Yeah, I had no idea. Had I known,
Yeah.
So now I have to go back and explain anything under a B, so B minus. I have to explain. It's just
I had gotten that B that I got was in oh God, what was it? Criminal sociopathy, and the professor for that class was actually somebody I worked with when I was working for the Department of Corrections, and he knew the reason I got the B is I was always on call for the agency I worked for, and I got called out like I don't know 5 times out of the 8 times we met to have to go deal with a crisis. So there was nothing I could do, and I saw him at work. I'm like, you asshole, you know perfectly. I think you had me called. You paged me out of the class just so you could give me my first B.
Possibilities. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Now, notice that when I titled the stream, I didn't finish the statement. The best part of waking up is indeed coffee in your cup, but I'm not so sure about Folgers. My Chihuahua is just absolutely. She's raising hell over there with her little toy.
Folgers is not my favorite either, Doc.
If it's Folgers, you got to get the Colombian, or they have one called Black Silk. Either the 2 of those, and they're really good.
Well, I've had all those. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret though that my friends that own the coffee shop told me. The lighter the roast, the more caffeine. Because in order to decaffeinate the coffee, you just roast it longer and get it darker.
Yeah, that's why Colombian's good, because Colombian's a medium roast.
Yeah, I like a very blonde
coffee. I like a medium roast.
I like coffee.
What, Carol?
I don't like coffee.
Oh, well, it was good of you to come on. Thanks.
No.
I think he learned that from me.
That's one of the only things that'll get you booted. You come out here, call me an asshole. You can stay on stream.
You leave coffee alone, though.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just don't like it because hot beverages hurt my tummy.
Oh, all right. I'll forgive you. Jesus.
That was a close one.
Woo! Got that bullet, Carol. That bullet. He went nuclear real quick.
I know. I was about to get my first ban.
What was amazing, that little vein started popping up in the middle of his forehead over that.
Oh, shit.
I thought he was going Cracker-Cola.
There was a little coffee worm inside his head.
He's going Mount Vesuvius.
I wanted to make sure that I popped over and said hi, but I do got to get going. I got to get a couple hours sleep. I'm going to be doing a manga thing at around 11. We're doing Mangaween. So between now and Halloween, we're going to do 2 pages of this silly manga story that we came up with in the chat.
Okay.
And by Halloween, we're going to have a a simple little tiny 22-page manga comic.
You're going to try and do
I
that
don't-
twice a week, right?
Twice a week. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do manga if somebody put a gun to my head. And I can't make myself do it.
Doc, have you seen this piece he's working on?
We're only doing it this size here, the 8.5 by 11.
Oh, I like that, big.
It's
I
not.
like that.
Yeah, this is actually from another manga. This is a character called Dark Saint.
Star Gift.
From Soul.
Yeah, I like that. I like that with the bullhorns or whatever.
That's from the manga that I'm going to be doing with Allie. Allie's writing that manga for me.
Okay.
And this is Silver Boa.
Have you seen that, Doc? That was
Yeah.
one of the first ones he did for me. Although he changed the gargoyle and
Yeah.
I was checking out
Making better.
that lady one that you had up with the crossed arms. That was really good.
Yeah, right there. There it is.
This
Yeah,
is Alazon. This is the blood crone version of Alazon. This is going to be the back cover of Beowar. The cover for Beowar, I don't know if you heard this, Doc, but the cover for Beowar is at the colors.
Yeah, I did hear. That's when I came in.
When that comes back, it's going to get launched. This is going to be the back cover because there is a five-page backup story of Alazon in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the pencils already in the works on that. She's coming out smoking.
Very cool.
Smoking hot, smoking wonderful book.
I did that thing. I know you've done it, Vic, where the drawing is in your lap or at your desk and you just fall asleep. I did that last night, working on Rex's pages.
Did you sleep there the whole night, though? I've done that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I woke up because I paint in here, but I draw in the living room, right?
Yeah.
With a 16 by 20 piece of Masonite drawing board. And I woke up with that thing in my lap to my wife saying, I'm headed to work, baby. And I was like, what the fuck? Because normally I get up at, we get up at 4:30 together.
And even if you slept really good, you feel cheated because you get to go to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I didn't get to choose. It wasn't my choice.
Now, I will say this, though. Sometimes that ambush sleep that just jumps on you is much appreciated because you didn't know you needed it as bad as you did. So
yeah, no, it's true. It's true. That's why I always stream, so it's like I try to keep myself usually it helps to keep me from falling asleep.
Because
doesn't always work. There's been a few times where usually. On that note, everybody, you have a great day. And I'll be catching you all later. Peace.
Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime, brother. Thank you for coming by my show.
Yep. See you later. So, no real topic because it's too early for topics. But I will say this. When you wake up and Rex is trying to hang in there with the young guys on these extreme marathons, and they start getting delirious in their talk, I was pretty sure Rex was having a stroke. He was just babbling on and on.
Really, a stroke?
Were you having a stroke, Rex?
When was that?
That's
remember.
See, there's the first warning sign. Do you smell toast right now? No, you and Dillard and Vic were just going, and I'm like, God dang, man, Rex is, Rex is entirely too vocal for this hour.
I'm sorry. I just
there's nothing to be sorry about.
Well, I don't want to blow you out, but I just woke up. I came home and tapped a few things in the chat, Vic's chat, and then I went to sleep.
Oh, and you woke up and he was still going?
Yep.
I've done that. Vic marathon streams. But then I was like, God dang, man, Rex is my age and he's freaking hanging with these young guys. I can't do that.
Well, I have hung with him, but lately it's like I've got to. If I didn't have stuff to mail off tomorrow that I have to find, and that means doing some cleaning around here to find it,
Hmm.
I would definitely. I mean, when I get off here, I've got my second wind now that I've rested a couple hours.
Oh, I've got the morning brew with Pops at like 10 or 11. I forget what time it is, but
Hell no, that's too early, Doc. My gosh, I'm not an early guy. I am a night owl.
I'm the opposite. I'm an early bird.
Okay, well,
But I'll say this. I don't know what it is about comic book people, but they keep these vampire hours. And if you start doing a comic book, you start keeping them too. It's weird.
hmm
Strange.
well, you may be the only artist on this project of mine to actually fall asleep at the board doing the bird. I appreciate it.
Well, full disclosure, I was kind of sick yesterday, so I didn't touch anything all day. I was fighting my ulcer. Just didn't feel good.
Hmm.
But then later on, about I don't know what time it was, but it was late. I'd already let the dogs in and they'd already passed out. I was watching Columbo,
Yeah.
and because I love me some Columbo. It's just one other thing. How is it possible, sir, that you made it from the gate to the boat in 4 minutes? Anyway, the next thing I know, I woke up and I still had YouTube up. And I guess I watched Erkenefell. He's a great naval historian. Great
Mhm.
channel. Anyway, I fell asleep during one of his, and I guess it auto-played over to Vic. And I woke up to you guys spurging out this morning as the wife was heading out the door.
You should try chair stream. I got 184 views on that.
Yeah. What was funny
And
was
I closed it down, and the way I closed the first one out, I closed the second one. I said, "That's all, folks."
yep.
But
Yep.
on the first one, I did the pig.
I
And,
popped
and
in.
I still had people in the chat.
I was going to say,
Roger was in there, Greg Levine, I don't know who else, but I noticed it too long, not soon enough, and I shut it down. Otherwise, I would have conversed with them a little bit, probably. And
I popped in like 2 or 3 times, and there was always somebody hanging out in the chat.
really, wow.
Carol, what time do it be where you're at?
It is 6:38 in the a.m.
Oh, okay. I thought you were West Coast. I didn't know you were one of us.
Yeah.
Whenever. Yeah. We're getting ready to do Smirk show. Change of venue hours.
Oh, okay. All right.
They have
Smirk is-
early hours, don't they? Because they're in Australia.
yeah.
So they're going to try and stream their evening hours, our morning hours.
Yeah.
That's why Captain Time Lord down in New Zealand called Dillard when he was on Big Show.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, he's like, "What's he calling me this late at night?"
Earth is round, people.
And I feel it.
When I was a kid, and I mean like maybe 5th or 6th grade,
7 years ago.
I remember that.
Textbook was a tree.
Shut up.
Good one, Carol. Good one.
I had this belief that if you got dizzy, it was because I didn't have a word for it. Uh-oh. Damn, I lost my connection for a second there. I had this belief that somehow if you got dizzy, your inertial dampener was cutting out and you were feeling the spin of the earth. That's what being dizzy was. I don't know why I thought this, but I did. As an adult, I think it's a theory that's worth exploring. Carol, you should do a research paper on it.
Okay.
You're doing criminal psych, right?
No, I'm just doing regular psych right now. I did criminal justice for my bachelor's, and now I'm just doing master's in psych.
Yeah, but your goal is...
Yeah, my goal is to work in the criminal justice area of it all.
You're going to be doing work with felons, or...
I don't know. I don't know right now. Everything's all weird right now, so I'm not sure which way I'm going with it. But yeah, I want to work with first-time felons.
Yeah.
Not even felons, first-time offenders.
Yeah, I worked with I guess the entire spectrum of felons, and the program was only open to nonviolent offenders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to work.
You know, and you're allowed, where I was working, you could say who you won't work with. I said, don't ever give me
Chomo,
a sex offender or one of those young lovers,
right?
Because I would not work with them. So, and I remember the chief said, "So you're good with working with a serial killer?" I said, "Yeah, sure." I never really liked Lucky Charms anyway.
How many serial killers do you really run into every day, though?
Yeah.
More than you think.
You never know. I remember that I had a guy who was in one of the programs I was doing, and he was on parole, not probation. And his crime was manslaughter, but it was one of those things where two people just got in a fight and it was involuntary manslaughter.
Right.
The other dude fell back, hit his head, and died. You know, in the course of a fight that he didn't start. I had way more sympathy for him than I did for the dude that was in there for repeatedly stealing from people. One dude had a fight in a moment of passion, and the other dude accidentally died.
It's all about intent.
Yeah, the other guy deliberately went after people to take their livelihoods from them.
Right. You know, I worked in the prison system as well, and not as a job, but
yeah.
You know, you talk to the inmates and they're like, "Yeah, I'm in here for 15 years or so for, you know, something." But they just see these young people that come in on drug charges, and they'll be back in 8 months, 6 months. They'll be back in 6 months, you know. Yeah. It's a revolving door. It's a money maker. And so they'll get paroled, and they say, "Man, if I get out, I'm never coming back."
Yeah,
guys will be back in 6 to 8 months on some new drug charge.
Well, that's because addiction is addiction. It does what it does. It leads to jail, institutions, and death.
Yeah.
And I used to, the people that when I would do orientation in the substance abuse and addiction programs, they were always skeptical. I'm like, all right, jail, institutions, death. You've already been to jail or you wouldn't be here. How many of you have ever been to an institution? And they wouldn't raise their hands. I go, "You're in one right now. Raise your hand." What does that leave? Death. Okay, so why don't we stop this process?
I was more leery. I did it in a couple prisons, and of the one that had some metal doors on the actual living areas. And I thought somebody could grab me, you know, take my, you know, shut the door. Guards wouldn't even know it. Take my clothes and try and walk out in my clothes, you know?
I'll tell you what's weird. I never once felt any sense of trepidation or fear working with the felons. And a lot of them, I would say the vast majority, were nicer than the people I worked with.
Well, the only time was in 1 week I did like 2 calls. I canceled one gentleman. Now he was a Christian. Hey, Emmett. Emmett's in the house.
Good morning, Emmett.
And his grandmother had just died, but he was a Christian, and he walked away feeling better about the situation, having talked to me. And I thought, oh, great, you know, They're like, well, this guy's dad died, a few days later, whatever. I didn't know their relationship, and they were the white supremacists, tattoos and everything, and he was just deadpan,
Mm-hmm. I never.
I didn't know if he had been sexually abused or kicked around by his father or what, but it was like, and I had no information, and he was so tight-lipped, he wasn't forthcoming with anything, and his roommates are kind of walking around us while I'm sitting there at the table trying to talk to him right there in the room. And it's like, wow, man. Okay, this is intense.
Karkoff model, my friend. Every person that ever works in any kind of helping profession should learn the Karkoff model. There's nothing more effective about getting people to talk. Nothing.
Yeah.
Hold down the fort. I'm going to grab my coffee or go refresh my coffee. Be right back.
Yeah. I'm brewing mine as we speak. But I put a little lime in mine. Lime or lemon. Today, I'm out of lime, so I put lemon.
You put lime in your coffee?
Yes. It's actually pretty good. And actually, I forgot to put the coffee in one day, and it was just like hot lime water, and that was different from lemon water. It's got a little smell to it, a little spice, like there's cinnamon in it. It's quite refreshing, actually, and good for you.
I've never heard of anybody putting lime and not even lemon in their coffee, really.
Right. Well, it takes. I drink it black. I don't sugar it up any or cream it up. So
okay, I guess that's how you.
It's a little bit of flavoring that you like, actually pretty nice. And but the best, I this time I just got some like lime juice and some lemon juice because I didn't want to have to buy a whole bag of lemons. One lemon will do several cups of coffee. So I just got the juice this time, but it is better with just an actual slice of lemon, hot brew over that. Most people are so sacrosanct about their coffee. It's like, oh no, how can you do that? Oh, to a perfectly good cup of coffee. I don't know how I got the idea to do that, but
yeah, I don't know how you got that idea either because I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah,
it's new to me.
It's good. Now Doc will come back if you tell him that. Will, oh no!
Tell me what?
If I told you, I
put this coffee.
Lemon in my coffee or lime. He's giving me the gimpy finger as we speak. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Here comes the bald Spider-Man.
Listen to me, Rex. Listen to me right now.
Okay.
A line from my book that came to me.
Oh.
When I have these random lines, I write them down so I don't.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
When Elizabeth is assaulted, beginning her whole ordeal. For Elizabeth, the night goes on for days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bet I bet you liked The Night Stalker growing up.
No.
You didn't?
No.
Really?
Yeah, really. No.
I got the idea today to give Dillard another commission, another single piece.
You can't pay for any more of that until you pay me. Just telling you.
Oh right. Oh yeah, I got you. But, and I've got to make sure that's in the budget.
Yep.
Let me go get my cup of coffee, Doc.
You do that, brother.
Okay.
So, to those watching, I'm going to do a little something here. Do. I've got my fine art people are like, dude, where are your paintings? You know, I got to tell them I'm doing a comic book. So let me see here. I think this is it. So Laughing Rogue going to be doing a voiceover for their commercial. So I'm going to practice it with you guys. They want it in a sort of Sam Elliott's voice. So here we go. It says, the sun peeks over the horizon. Your excitement builds. The animals in the field start to stir. The forest comes alive with sounds. The sunlight glimmers off the lake and the mountain starts to shed its morning fog. So load up your favorite ammo, grab a few buddies, and head out to make some memories. Tell the rest of the world that you've gone hunting. Gone Hunting is a 1 to 4 player game of family fun where you build a unique hunting ground, scout different animals, buy weapons and gear, and roll dice to hunt. Complete objectives and try not to miss. Let's load up the truck and back Gone Hunting today. See you in the field.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the
lion sleeps tonight.
Now, was that a voiceover you did?
Yeah, that's the script for what I'm going to be doing later when I get good and woke up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, anyway, my ideal that I was going to pitch to Dillard was an old style manual typewriter.
Excuse me.
Hey, Pale Rider.
What about it? Good morning, Pale Rider.
Well, I mean, you can supplement, leave the page blank and have, actually put different type, almost like a logo or an opening.
Yeah.
That the way I made that connection was you said you didn't like Night Stalker, Kolchak, the Night Stalker. There was only 20 episodes. It wasn't on very long, but there was a couple movies also. But now he was always typing on that typewriter.
I barely even remember that. Welcome back, Carol.
Thank you.
Andre the Giant played one of the monsters.
I knew he played Bigfoot on the $6 Million Man.
He was that was Ted Cassidy that played Lark. What?
No, that was Andre.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Look at his face. Google it. Ted Cassidy.
Let's see.
Andre the Giant played the swamp monster, though, in Kolchak that lived in the sewers and was killing people. Ted Cassidy. Who was in Star Trek, an episode of Star Trek.
Yep. The children of...
I was right.
Archon. No, the Star Trek you're talking about with Ted Cassidy was the children of Archon, I think.
Okay. But now what about the Bigfoot?
I'm looking.
That wasn't Andre. That was Ted Cassidy.
I don't know.
The facial features had to be him.
God, IMDb has gotten so weird.
Again, the 70s did have a few, and $6 Million Man was no exception. Had the great opening music and stuff. Do 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 do. And then when he would, pick up something and throw it.
I'm looking. I can't remember the name of the episode, but I don't even remember what season it was.
Well, there was more than one episode. I have all those.
Yeah.
$10 Man ran for 5 seasons. I have all 5. And I have the 3 seasons of The Bionic Woman, maybe twice over. I just bought the 3 seasons of that, but I think I already have it. Haven't even opened it, and I'm not going to open it till I check my thing.
We're both right. Ted Cassidy was a 6'9" tall film and television actor who took over the role of Bigfoot from Andre the Giant, playing the role a total of 3 episodes in both The $6 Million Man and The Bionic Woman. So Andre started it, and then I guess they lost him, and they got Ted Cassidy.
Okay, so he was the original one, and then Ted Cassidy came in like 3 times. Yeah.
How about that? We were both right.
Well, don't lose your hair. I mean,
What?
Fly by. Look, people make those jokes as if I would be sensitive about never having a bad hair day.
Right. And he turns his head, and he's got my grandfather's, he's got that strip that goes in the back, Carol.
The problem is
you need a Charlie Brown curl, one hair, right?
That is actually long right now. Normally I keep it shaved because I don't like the uneven sun you get on your head if you've got little patches of hair going on. Mm-hmm. Like if I shaved your pink ass bald right now, you'd be pink and then white. We don't want that.
Right. Spank that baby. Let's check in with the chat. Amit says, I got a great deal on a cruise. Of course you do, Amit. Of course you do.
Amit, how are things on your side of the world, brother? And why is Kirk Cameron your avatar?
What do they call that? One song record or one
hit wonder?
One hit. Well, yeah. No, that's not what I was thinking. But
one trick pony.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's on one track. It's like I've got a cruise. I've got a cruise. That's like Cecil's. Buy my book. Buy my book.
He's got more than one scam. I mean, deal to offer. Just ask him.
Schemes and scams. Yeah.
Carol, in your avatar, are you wearing goggles?
Yes, I am.
Life is great. Amit
were you skydiving?
No, they're my headband, but for selfies I put them on.
They're your headband.
Yeah. Would you like to see me without them?
Yes. Because I've always seen it. And I was like, is she jumping out of a plane? Is she skiing?
But yeah, she's showing her face. Baby face. You got
the cutest little baby face.
Against those cheeks. No, those cheeks.
I'll tell you, Well Read does a good show, and I enjoy it. But
that's probably my favorite right there, actually.
Every now and then.
If I had to title that, I'd say adorable. Adorable. You're adorable, Carol. If that is your real name, which I know
it's not. But she has self-doxed.
Everybody knows her real name except me.
She has self-doxed, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had to go back and view the old archive footage and find out.
But, what the hell was I saying?
I'm sorry, Doc. I have a way of derailing people. I got read to buy a timeshare today.
Well read is what I was talking about.
Okay. Glad I could help.
Sometimes people will, when he has an open mic, the link is in the chat. He had this new guy, D-High, or whatever his name was. Drunk, belligerent. Nobody knew who he was.
Drunk when high.
He made the mistake of coming at Well Read, not knowing that Well Read, before he got it serious about doing his channel, was one of the legendary trolls. You will not get the best of him in a verbal exchange. He will hurt your feelings. He will confuse you. I got so tickled watching him with this guy. So, well read if you see this. Kudos, bro. You know, he's all soft spoken and very polite, very articulate, very thoughtful man, but he's also an epic level troll. Am I right, Amit? You were around back in the day. Yeah, I have literally nothing interesting to talk about today.
Obvious.
Sorry.
Obvious.
I'm writing a script for a recorded video for my channel that's called, tentatively, it's Lactose Intolerant, Gluten-Free, Soy-Infested Culture. What the fuck happened?
Okay.
I mean, when we were coming up, do you remember ever hearing about anyone being lactose intolerant or needing gluten-free or wanting soy other than soy sauce on your rice? You know, you never heard of that shit. Ever.
Yeah. How's that?
There's Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hi.
You have pink hair.
I do.
Were you an
Whoa.
SJW?
Can you blow that up
Ew.
so I could see?
She said, ooh. There you go, old man.
Okay.
There's the lovely Carol.
The first thing to go, they say, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Can
What's
we make
that?
it
No. What about my hair color?
Were you an SJW?
It's
No.
pink.
Why does my hair color make me an SJW?
Well, most of them go for blue, green, or pink. You know.
Well, it's faded. It was a fiery red.
Would you like the SJW?
I don't think Carol could be an SJW
Yeah,
if
I don't
she
think I
had
could
to.
either.
I don't think she could if she had to. She's got too much brain power.
Yeah.
There's your deal, Rex. 15 nights departing November 5 from Barcelona to Tampa for
Right after my birthday, Amit. November.
all you've got to do is spend twice that amount to fly over to Barcelona to catch the plane to
Right.
huff a lump it back across the ocean for $849.
Now, Carol, that other icon was a younger version of you, or is this the? Okay.
Well, obviously the other one was a toddler. What the hell, Rex? Get your glasses on, man.
I'm just wondering if this was updated, current.
This was today. Last
Oh,
night.
today. Okay.
This is live, Rex. It's live.
My screen's just frozen.
Yeah. Like mine keeps doing. for some
Now, see,
reason.
I got respect that puts the people that put their face out there and just doesn't hide behind an icon.
Well,
Which I understand certain people don't want to be doxxed, and I understand.
I don't fear doxing. I don't. What is somebody going to do?
I don't either.
I mean, what are they going to do? If you come to my house with malintent, then just know that you have my deepest sympathy.
Right.
Other than that, what are you going to do? You're going to mail me a nasty gram?
You're not going to guarantee flowers at the funeral, huh?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like like the meme says, that door was locked for your protection, not mine.
There you go.
This is the South. Okay.
Mhm.
We're all not only armed. By the way, I owe you an apology.
Know about that. I wouldn't know.
I didn't realize that Arkansas was on the same latitude, even lower than Virginia. It's like right there with Tennessee. So technically, I guess that's a southern state.
Yeah, I would think so. We were on this side of the Mason-Dixie line, weren't we?
Mason-Dixon line. Mason-Dixie line. Holy shit.
Oh, you were going to say the Mexico one.
I probably learned about it from a Bugs Bunny cartoon, so give me a break.
I remember that episode.
I know, right?
Yosemite Sam freaked out when he got tricked into crossing the line. But you know, this is the Piedmont belt of the Deep South.
It's
And
the Punjabi belt. What the
Piedmont belt? Look it up.
Oh,
It's the Coastal Plateau Piedmont belt.
Golden
So
Shower confirmed.
The area I'm at now, south of Atlanta, is actually the foothills of the Appalachians, the Smokies, the Blue Ridge, whatever you want to call them. And when I first moved here, I didn't realize how high up it is. But if you're driving from my real home down in the low country, which is at sea level, and you drive to where I'm at now, your ears will pop because you're climbing altitude. And it's
I hate that.
it is it's strange. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. I would order 20 pizzas from Pizza Hut and make you pay the bill if I ever got your dogs. That is, but see, that's not going to be a thing because I wouldn't pay it.
We don't have a Pizza Hut.
I have one, but you could order 1,000 pizzas and send them here and try to stick me with the bill. I have the right to say nope. Just that nope. Say it with me. Nope. No is a powerful word. Now I might grab one of them or two of them and go, thanks. It's like one of my really developmentally disabled felons one time. He actually threatened me. He said, I know where you live, Mr. Blaylock. And I said, you do? I said, hey, Abigail. I said, what are you going to do with that information? And he said, you know. I said, no, I don't know. Tell me. And he didn't know that his probation officer was standing right behind him as he articulated a threat against me. The PO just pushed him against the wall and cuffed him and walked him away. It's like, how'd that work out for you, buddy? He lived in a mountain village in Switzerland. You know, I have an affliction wherein I have to consciously think about Switzerland versus Sweden because they blend together in my head. Yeah, and up in the Blue Ridge, and I'm sure out in the Rockies too, it rains below you. You can be up on the mountain and see it raining down beneath you, which is really strange. It says we went to the Blood Mountains in Georgia. It was pretty cool. There's a Stone Mountain is there, which is the largest monolith in the world. But then there's a weird mountain. I'll see if I can find a picture of it called Sahara Mountain. And it looks like the desert.
Carol, are you a cat person?
Do
you have?
I have cats and I have a dog.
Oh, okay. So did I get along?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah. I can give you guys about 5 more minutes, and then I got to go and get ready for my other show.
You're not scaring me one bit. Don't you threaten me.
Oh, I will threaten you.
Yeah, I don't know the details, but I'm sorry that Vic and Smirk and Manticore fell out because I like all of them. I didn't realize that was a thing. Which I'm not going to discuss here. I'm just saying, you know, I like those guys. So give them my best, Carol, when you see them.
Absolutely.
Tell them Doc said hello. But then I'm going to keep streaming until I get all of their viewers watching me.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so basically, Rex, Amit wants to eat your dog. Yeah, it was. It was sad.
Fight me. Fight word.
Now,
in fact, since you bring it up just a couple of days ago, I said, you know, if I was totally out of food and whatnot, and I said I would not eat my dog. I don't care if I was starving to death.
Well,
I said even if she passed away from starvation herself, I would not eat her cadaver.
Well, this is the thing though, Rex. I mean, if you yours is just like mine was. If you look, man, those are some good looking drumsticks on that dog.
I'm
Just
still
say-
not eating it.
I'm just saying. I used to kid with Snooky. I said, "Look at that! Look at that hawk! Give me that ham slab."
Would you eat a family member? That she's a family member. She's my family.
I mean, you're asking that like what? If I was starving to death, I would eat one if I was just snacky.
Yeah, well, okay.
Damn it, they're still cool dudes.
Start with the Chihuahua and then go to the bigger dog.
No, Chihuahuas. If you fry Chihuahua up, it's just all grease and gristle. There's really nothing there.
Go Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
She's my
Oh.
bud.
So,
Good girl.
I forgot what I was about to say. God dang it! Not enough coffee. I'm telling you, man.
Not enough coffee can jumpstart that memory, Doc. Don't care how much you drink.
Oh, that's cool. I enjoy the mountains a great deal. Driving through them now because at my age I ain't hiking shit. A hike is a walk that sucks. I am definitely a beach bum. I'm just gonna say I'll
You
say
look
it out
it.
loud.
You look it.
Jimmy Buffett stole my life, fucker.
Yeah, he did, didn't
All right, guys, I'm being called to the backstage to get ready.
All right. Well, you give them fellers my best over there,
he? Tasting again in Margarita.
and thank you for popping in, Carol.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Lost
You're very welcome. Welcome anytime.
shaker a song.
Bye, guys.
Carol, bye.
Bye. See ya. What kind of seismic work? Pale Rider? Geological survey?
Dynamite.
Yeah, about that. I am not a mountain person as far as living in them. It's beautiful up there. It really is. Helen, Georgia, and Pigeon Forge, and all that stuff. It's beautiful, no doubt about it. Vermont ain't got shit on the Smokies. Listen to that doggy. Listen to her talking.
That's me.
Oh, well then, fuck you.
She doesn't say a thing unless she's barking, which is very rare.
Well, now see, mine would talk almost like a husky.
Oh, now she's yawning. There we go. I call her Hinge Head because she comes,
I got you, Pale Rider. Actually, no, sea level is better for you.
Yeah, probably earn some good money with that oil and gas. Oh, yeah.
You want that increased barometric pressure.
Those oil rig guys earn
Makes
a lot of money.
Easier to breathe. Yeah, I got a couple of pals that are roughnecks, and they do X amount of time on and then a larger amount of time away from the rig, but they get paid year round. Kind of like tugboat drivers. Tugboat drivers make unreal money. And I almost wish I had done that. Rex, what do you think?
What if?
I mean, could you imagine though if you were a tugboat captain?
Yeah, Steamboat Willie.
No, I don't want Steamboat Willie. Tugboat.
He was on a tugboat, was he?
I don't know.
Yeah, Steamboat Willie was Mickey Mouse's first cartoon short. Yeah,
I remember
they put it into a Hot Wheels this year.
When I was a kid, Rex. I don't know about you, but I would see the Disney cartoons, not the movies, just the cartoons.
And
I didn't like them because Warner Brothers spoiled me. Looney Tunes was so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, just way funnier.
The one modern character that I think is closest to Looney Tunes is Scrat from Ice Age.
Yeah, Scrat's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's trying to save his acorn and getting into mischief.
But I don't know. Does that mean we had kind of an adult sense of humor if you found those Looney Tunes, which were actually written for adults, hysterical back in the day when we were kids. I don't know. What does that mean?
I went and saw almost exclusively Disney movies for a long time. Even the bad ones, the ones with Kurt Russell, and not that they were bad, but I mean,
The Fox and the Hound, that was a great one. What are you talking about? It's a great one. I'm a hound dog. Whoa.
Yeah. I really enjoyed and saw it originally when it came out. Jungle Book and Aristocats and
I did not like Aristocats.
One Dalmatians and Robin Hood.
Robin Hood was good. I didn't like Aristocats. Wasn't really that big on 101 Dalmatians.
Peter Ustinov. Taxes. Oodles and noodles of taxes.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
And arguably, I think, for traditional animation, which is 24 drawings per second, in film, that has to be the pinnacle of Disney animation.
Yes. Now, here was my problem with Jungle Book. Mowgli had a bear and a panther.
Right.
And Shere Khan was just a tiger. Now,
right.
The tiger could kill the panther, but he arguably would just be a fight with a bear. But a bear and a panther together would beat the shit out of that tiger.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And then the elephants.
I guess maybe that's why they really cartoon. I mean, Baloo was not ferocious looking at all.
Nope.
And Bagheera was kind of feminine, right? I mean,
he was I always thought, again, as a child, that Bagheera was Little John. He just changed clothes.
Little John from Robin Hood?
Yeah. Same voice, same bear.
Oh, was it? Now, in that, come to think of it, wasn't the guy what's his name, Cabot, that played Mr. French?
Sebastian Cabot.
Sebastian Cabot. What, didn't he do the voice?
You know what? I don't know. For which one, Baloo?
No, he definitely didn't do Baloo. Sebastian Cabot did some voice work, though, for Disney. I'm going to base the character off of him. I already sent a reference to Vic, a while back. I'm all the time sending him reference shots.
Phil Harris was Little John. Andy Devine, who was funny as all be get out, was fired.
I was talking Jungle Book voices. I think Sebastian Cabot was in Jungle Book.
Well, that's what I just asked you.
Yeah. Roger Miller was
same guy. Bagheera was Sebastian Cabot, but Phil Harris did play both Baloo and Little John. So that's cool. Sterling Holloway, who was hysterical, was Ka, of course.
Excuse me.
And Sterling Holloway, I think, also did the voice of Winnie the Pooh, didn't he? Yep, he did Pooh. 100 films and 40 TV shows. That's a lot.
No. Of what?
That's a lot of work. 100 movies? Are you kidding me? 100 movies?
Oh, it is, yeah.
And 40 television shows. That's a work ethic. Utah was not nice to me. Flipped a four-wheeler into a ravine. Thought I pulled a muscle. Ended up with two compressors. Ooh, L1 to T12. Ouch! That is certainly a serious back injury. Now, I do get a kick out of. I watch Matt's Off-Road Recovery, Good morning, my friend. Would you like the link, Shadowhawk? Going to be out here for just a little bit longer.
Hey, Shadowhawk.
Blade Runner says, "Song of the South. How much money would Disney make if they released the 70 with warning label for snowflakes?"
I love
agree.
Song of the South.
I enjoyed it, and damn that Vic. And here's the thing. I grew up with lots of black friends, so they watched that thing just as surely as I did, and they weren't offended by it.
If you again, if you're taking stuff, if you're not trying to place yourself back in the time and place that it was in, you're doing the material injustice.
Yeah, but it is what it is. This is the society we live in. They want to ban Huckleberry Finn. They want to ban Dr. Zeus. They want to ban this and ban that because of their.
They want to ban a lot more than that, Doc.
Oh, I know. I'm saying.
That's the thing about it. You start with easy marks like that are dated and taken out of context. I call it taking it out of context because, like you said, blacks weren't offended at that at the time.
No,
I know of maybe a few disgruntled,
just something went terribly wrong with society that. We can say, oh, it's a culture war and it's SJWs, but you got to think about this. The SJWs had to have a moment of initiative in order to take hold. And I don't know what happened to our society where we would allow that.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, back in my day, it didn't happen. It didn't.
If Colonel Sanders was they'd be giving Colonel Sanders hell just because of the way he looked. Old plantation, southern looking gentleman, and
yes. There's just again a soy infested, lactose intolerant, gluten free vegan world.
Yeah.
When you can watch Archie Bunker and Jefferson's not be offended, you're okay. Exactly. I mean, think how big those shows were, and they were deliberately and overtly racist.
Right.
They were making fun of it.
And now they're going to disappear from the cultural landscape eventually,
Yeah. Try to do a show like that today.
Can I share a couple pictures with you? I shared them on my stream.
Sure.
But everybody was talking and I really didn't. Now, here's a man's man, okay? In my guesstimation. I mean, he's signing an autograph while he's on a kid's back.
While he's smoking.
He did. Steve
McQueen,
yeah. Cool. Now, I contrast this picture. Here, take that down for a moment and let's get the other picture.
Okay.
Take it off screen. There we go. Now, I contrast it with one of the dude, John Wayne. That does not look like the King of Wool at all in this picture. I'm quite shocked, actually. I have to wonder if this is even real, but I bet it is. I bet it is. Now you can bring it up.
I don't know. That looks photoshopped to me.
Do you?
That looks photoshopped.
Well, he was the athlete.
He was.
Probably had legs like that.
I mean, I don't think John Wayne ever had a camel toe.
Well, okay. Did they? Yeah, I guess camel toe instead of a package.
I remember.
Now I have a picture of both of them together. Let me find that one. And he's hanging on to John Wayne. He is 30 shades to drunk. Steve. And John Wayne's just taking it in stride. There's a couple pictures. Let me see if I can find that. I'd never seen that one before.
I got one I want to show too.
Okay. I've been sending rude pictures of Marilyn Monroe.
You've been sending rude pictures?
Huh?
Did you say you've been sending me rude pictures?
No, Steve Rude,
Oh,
the artist.
yep, I know who Steve Rude is.
Okay. Because he had a Marilyn Monroe poster upside down, and in the interview that I did with him, I said, "Why is Marilyn Monroe upside down?" He says, "I've been waiting for somebody to ask me that."
Hey, Blade Runner, it's not really a questioning method. It's a therapeutic model for doing counseling. It's called the Karkuff model, Carkhuff. Look up The Art of Helping in the 21st Century is the latest edition.
Yeah, you never did elaborate on that. You just mentioned it and went on. Karkuff model.
Karkuff.
Oh, excuse me. Must be my southern accent getting in the way again.
It's something.
It's something.
Let me find this.
Y'all come back now here.
See if you know who this beauty
Look, I
is.
grew up on Hee Haw and Beverly Hillbillies. I know I'm southern.
Let me see here. Share screen.
I mean, to people in Arkansas, I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't think Georgia was southern, to tell you the truth.
Wow, really? It just absolutely does not get more southern. Check out this beauty.
Oh, you got rednecks too, huh?
Now, tell me who that is.
Oh, man, I can't tell you who that is. I'll tell you right off the bat, but that's back in Hollywood. It might be Barbara Stanwyck. That's my guess.
Is it Petticoat Junction? Petticoat Junction
too. That's right, Blade Runner.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. I actually don't know the actress's name. This is the character Yvonne from Casablanca.
You put that up there, and who's this? I'm waiting on the answer.
Well, I don't know.
It might be a young Barbara Stanwyck, but I'm not sure about that, Doc. I mean,
well, let me see.
Oh, can you get an answer? And then that's okay. Of course I can. Because Doc's so good at this technology stuff. You can do it.
It is Madeleine LeBeau. Madeleine LeBeau was the actress, and she was stunning in the movie Casablanca. So she's kind of the girl that initially she had a few dates with Rick.
Oh, she was in Casablanca?
Yes. And she says, "Where were you last night, Rick?" And he goes, "That's so long ago, I don't remember." "What are you doing later tonight?" "I never make plans that far in advance." "What a fool I was for falling for a man like you."
I don't even think I own a copy of Casablanca.
All right, well, you need to rectify that immediately, Rex. Rex, what are you doing? You just scrolling through your Twitter?
I'm trying to find. Bring this up. Now, how can you not say this is not beauty incarnate?
She's pretty, but she's
pretty compared to.
She's no Ingrid Bergman.
Let's take a poll on that one. She'll beat Ingrid Bergman.
All right, we'll put those images side by side. Here we go. You ready?
Besides Casablanca. Okay, besides Casablanca. Really? Can you do a side by side of?
You just hold your water, buddy.
I'm holding my water. I've been holding my water since I came on here. Oh.
Shut up.
Believe me, I'd bounce if I needed to. No, Sophia Loren. I have a Sophia Loren autograph, Shadowhawk.
Sophia Loren, my mother looked exactly like her.
I was going to ask you, besides, what is your favorite Ingrid Bergman movie? And you can't say Casablanca.
Anastasia.
That is a good one.
It is.
Now, what was the the Shakespearean one? That's really kind of strange.
Don't know. Don't know what you're talking about.
Has death in there or the Seven Seals or something? I don't know. Somebody will know in the chat because we have the smartest chat. There he is, smarter than the average bear.
All right, so there's that.
Yeah, there is. Bam, in and around the mouth.
Versus that.
So
look at that porcelain dove.
Plain Jane.
She's not plain at all.
Well, she must have had something. She did a few movies.
She was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, Raquel Welch, Pale Rider. That's another one. Yeah.
Raquel Welch was an absolute hottie. I did not like Jennifer Lee. I did not
even remember Jennifer Lee.
The first line describing Scarlett in the book says Scarlett was not beautiful, but men forgot that when they were around her. What a great description of just a homely girl that had a lot of charisma.
Yeah, exactly. Great bit of dialogue there.
I don't know what you're talking about, Blade. I mean, Shadowhawk. Yeah, I get that, Blade Runner. My first one I saw was probably the colorized one too, but then just over the years I've watched it so many because I love that movie. It's just great.
Colorized of what?
Casablanca.
Really? They got? I don't think I've ever seen the color.
Yeah, it's obviously not as good.
Yeah. Well, you have that film noir look, right?
Yep, I get you, Blade Runner.
Here's another one good. Yeah. Monica Bellucci.
She's pretty.
Is that? Oh yeah, she's leggy.
Rex, thou shalt not lust. I think.
What did you think about Marilyn Monroe?
Marilyn was beautiful.
Yeah,
undoubtedly beautiful. Sophia Loren was stunning. How could I not love her? She looked just like my mother. If I can find the picture, my mother has a portrait shot in black and white, and we when she passed away, we had her photos out, and everybody that came in said, "Are you putting that out to show?" You know, they thought it was Sophia Loren, and we were putting that photo out to show that Mom looked like her. I said, "No, that is Mom."
Share my screen.
Why would I do that?
Here's a photo of Marilyn that you might not have seen.
Hi, Marilyn.
Do you think she was plain?
Do I think she was plain?
Or, I mean, what do you think about Marilyn? Because, I mean, she was it in Hollywood.
I think Marilyn was beautiful. I also think she was funny as hell. She did comedy.
She had daddy issues.
Wonderfully. Well,
I think that you would like to study her, her psychology, because she had issues.
Well, who doesn't?
I mean, she wanted a father figure in her life, and she's a fascinating story.
Well,
for a person like you that is dealt with psychological.
The case studies that I was more interested in was in the human beings that are break glass in case of emergency. In chat, you'll get this. These were your Winston Churchills, your George Pattons, even your Donald Trumps.
Yeah.
People who they are rude, crude, socially unacceptable, but they get the fucking job done when it needs to be done. So these are people that you go, break glass in case of emergency. These are the Bull Halseys, the George Pattons, just people that you wanted around when the crap hits the fan.
And I'm reminded of that great line in some type of movie. Take no prisoners. Take no prisoners.
Well, I remember the politically incorrect the first time someone ever got sideways about something was they asked Bull Halsey, "What is your strategy for winning the war in the Pacific?" And he said, "Kill Japs, kill Japs, kill motherfucking Japs."
Right.
That
There
was
you go.
his strategy. And could you imagine, even if we were at war with someone today, you wouldn't even be allowed to say that?
No.
Can you also imagine? Did you serve, Rex? Were you in the military?
No, I did not. I considered it like 3 times in my life. Even up into the age of 47, which I would get a waiver. But there is no retirement for military chaplains. I considered that either in the Air Guard or the National Guard, and career military.
What do you mean there's no retirement?
There's no retirement for military chaplain. And you, as long as you can do your job, you can do it up into your 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, unless you go to the FMF, because chaplains, like medical personnel, do not exist in the Marine Corps. So just like with certain corpsmen, certain chaplains go with the FMF. So you got to play in the mud with the Marines, baby.
I think it's kind of discriminatory that they don't let them carry a sidearm, but they send somebody that has a sidearm to protect them. I think they should have the right to bear arms, even though they're chaplains.
Our chaplain carried an M16. And he also...
I was told it by the guard that, you'd have an escort, but you couldn't carry. And that's even go to the front line.
Shit. When we would go and do war games, our chaplain would take off his officer's insignia and his religious insignia. He would put on Lance Corporal and grab a friggin' M16, and we would go out to the FIBA.
There you go.
For the edge of the Bible area.
Share my screen. You remember Mac the Knife from McDonald's? I think they got it from this guy.
I do. I remember. And see, that's something I could see an SJW doing today.
Really? Yeah, we probably will see that before it's all over with.
But what I was going to say, the reason I asked about the military was when I served, I promise you, if a conflict happened and we had to go on alert, we wouldn't have an emergency in service about proper pronoun usage.
Right. You want the guy that's socially unacceptable that you don't want at your tea parties. You want the guy that's going to kick ass, hate name, the baddest MFer that you can find.
You want
somebody who's maybe a little off in the head.
You want Chesty Puller. You want PX Kelly. You want Merritt Edson. You want friggin' Patton. You want Winston Churchill leading.
Winston Churchill met MacArthur, another Arkansas boy, on the battlefield in World War One. Were you aware of that? That's where they met. Yeah.
I was not a MacArthur fan because he's not one of those break glass case of emergency.
Right. But he did want to go over the Yalu River.
Well, he is. He did, but he also
wanted to. He was politically motivated.
He wanted to nuke them, Rex. He wanted to use nuclear weapons. That's why he was relieved and replaced with Ridgway.
Well, what do you feel about that?
I think that's a terrible idea. What the hell?
Well, I mean, it saved lives once, didn't it, or twice?
Well, think about this, though. Yes, and I don't oppose what we did to end the war with Japan because, ordering 500,000 body bags for my Marines was all the reason they needed for dropping the bombs.
Right.
But having said that, Curtis LeMay had a plan to use the thousands of bombers at his disposal once we took Okinawa to firebomb with napalm Japan back to a Stone Age culture by bombing them around the clock because it's a wooden nation.
Right, it would have burned, yeah. I mean, that's
So think about that. That means the atomic bombs were actually merciful compared to what Curtis LeMay was. And Curtis LeMay's another one. He's another that break glass in case of emergency. You
yeah.
know, Doolittle, a little bit like that. But I got to think that there are still men like that. But
Oh, yeah.
they certainly are not leading our armed forces right now.
No, and it's
It's
going to get worse in the next 2 years. I mean, these SJWs, identify as he, him, whatever. I mean, they're being led into the military, and people in the military that are that hoorah you're talking about, they don't want to get jabbed, so they're leaving the military.
Well, yeah, I just watched Task and Purpose, and he was talking about all militaries across the globe in Western cultures. Their recruiting is way down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's behind in numbers. Yep. And then the caliber of the person that you're getting nowadays is the guy that's under pressure on the battlefield. And there's many different pressures. I mean, like when we were in the Middle East, in Afghanistan places, you had scorpions everywhere, and these people aren't going to be able to handle it mentally.
If you get offended because somebody misgenders you, meaning they use your appropriate gender, but you don't like it.
I don't know where this guy's fighting. Share my screen.
I don't
know where this guy's fighting, but he's reading James Bond.
I don't think if you get offended at being misgendered, you're going to stand up in combat. Just saying.
Yeah. He's reading James Bond. At least that. Huh?
Well, right on.
I mean, it's not. I mean, that guy probably fought all his life, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as a pretty battlefield. So
no, there's not. And you don't want to see that. That's why I say you don't want to see civil war here within our borders.
Well, what I was saying was, the Middle East was bad, but Vietnam was a nightmare. Korea was a nightmare. South Pacific was a nightmare. Even Europe was a nightmare. And America's biggest nightmare was our own Civil War.
One of the best things I've seen is the old two Muppet Men. You remember them up in the balcony?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh!
Yes. Yeah, they were funny.
The suicide watch doesn't mean you watch him commit suicide. That's hilarious. I'm sure they're talking about Epstein.
Yeah, Cuba was no picnic. I always felt very bad about the Bay of Pigs. If we'd have just supported those troops,
Was that a Democrat thing? What the hell happened there, Doc?
That was a Kennedy thing. He wanted to save face and
have
plausible deniability, so he withdrew the air support.
Right.
And, had they gone forward with it, we now know that the Soviet Union wouldn't have done a thing, and Cuba would probably be our 51st state right now.
Well, when I was interviewing Steve Rude, now this is applicable to what we're talking about. He said Jack Kirby. We were talking a lot about Jack Kirby. That's probably the biggest influence on him. But he was saying, I'm getting some echo, maybe on your side, Doc.
It's not on my side, sir.
Oh, well, let me put my earbuds in, just make sure. Just make sure it's not me. You can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, you're much louder now, actually.
Oh, well, turn that.
Oh, good, because you were leaning right into your mic.
Oh, okay. How's this? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, he said in between Isaac Newton and Einstein was 200 years. And it'll be another 200 years till we get another Jack Kirby.
Quite possibly.
Why I say that is, like you mentioned, Winston Churchill. How long will it take till we get another Winston Churchill?
I don't think there will ever be another Churchill.
I think if they keep pushing it the way it is, that the right is going to push back, and they may accidentally get an Adolf Hitler.
Well, the pendulum is already swinging back the
Right.
other way. You can only push people so far.
Right.
And
they're losing independents. They're losing blacks. They're losing Latinos.
Yeah. But I'm not talking about politically. I'm talking about socially.
Right.
Politics is going to politic. But the likes of Winston Churchill, I don't think we'll ever. That was the perfect man at the perfect time to pretty much. You got to remember, England is the only nation that fought on the first day of the war and the last day of the war. They are the only country that entered World War II without being attacked by the enemy first. So, the fact that little island nation endured fighting alone for so long.
China understands, though, the art of war. You drain off. They lost their empire, a large portion of their empire.
Mm-hmm. Good morning.
They may have been the first on and the first off, but they sure paid a price for it.
Of course they did, but they were willing to pay that price because of single-handedly one man's willpower holding that country together.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop the link, Eric. Want to pop in and have coffee?
He was inspiring, I guess, like the fireside chats with FD were, but different.
But more so. More so.
Yeah.
He
actually, before the day, he called for a day of prayer and fasting before, when their troops were trapped at Dunkirk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I believe in the power of prayer.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially coupled when the whole nation cries out, and actually laments. And
I make no secret of the fact that I am a Christian. I'm a believing Christian. I am just a Christian who has a potty mouth, so that's my biggest sin. Speaking of sins, hey Marv, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, sin killer. Gonna have to have you on sometime, sin killer. I had my time, my schedule.
I agree, Pale Rider, 100%. In every generation, there are men and women of virtue with intestinal fortitude who will stand up for what's right. Unfortunately, I think right now they're just in the minority, or they're afraid to open their mouths because of the blue hair land whale Twitter mobs coming out.
I think a lot of that is, and that's what they're aiming for people to shut their mouths and, at least be silent. They're trying to intimidate everything. Boy, they came out right after the day after the election. You can't say this election was stolen.
Andrew Klavan.
They told you certain things that you couldn't talk about. Now, if that's not censorship,
they still do.
They still do, right? Yeah.
The left's only argument is shut up.
Yeah.
If you point out anything, they try to silence you.
Yeah.
So shut up. Don't talk about it.
That's why we call it the cancel culture.
But here's the thing: there are some of us who just don't care, and we will not shut up. We will not let up. We do not bend the knee. And I'm just saying,
I believe in freedom of speech.
Hear me. There's a great saying that I live by. There is no more capable or dangerous a man than the man that does not fear the worst you can do to him. I don't fear the worst that they can do.
Right. Right. Exactly right. Nor should you.
Yes, you're exactly right. Blade Runner.
But you know what? You had to get to that point in life, Doc. You just don't get it through osmosis. You have to learn through hard knocks. I finally found it. My God, I didn't even know it was posted. Here, show that picture.
There are 4 things that help you develop that. And they're the same 4 things that help you develop healthy and unhealthy. They are your experiences, and I'm going to break these down. They're your experiences, your education, your environment, and your examples. Your experiences, anything you do and you live through it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Does not mean formal education. It means anything you learn.
Right.
Your environment is who you surround yourself with, and your examples are any person, living, dead, real or fictitious, that you admire. So there's Eric. Good morning, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, good morning, Doc. Morning, Rex.
Good morning,
buddy.
It's too early for this shit.
Yeah. Share my screen, Doc. That was that picture that I searched long and hard for.
Listen, buddy. I was already hovering over it.
Okay. Now that he is 3 shades to the wind, and the Duke is just like,
get off me.
Yeah.
Get off me, little man.
Yeah.
Somebody, an SJW was trying to be cute, and he posted, because the left can't meme. He had I'm getting an echo from you, Eric. There was a meme that said, they call current youth effeminate, and then it showed a picture of Motley Crue and said, but this was supposed to be masculine. Here's the thing, okay? Just measure the testosterone levels.
Yep. It's 50% of what it should be, than what it is 50 years ago. Men have 50% less testosterone.
Yeah.
A lot of it's the estrogen in plastic bottles, drinking water and stuff.
Yeah, they're talking about, the androgynous look that the hair metal bands were doing. But you got to remember, those guys were backstage boinking anything that walked.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, going way back. I mean,
yeah,
glam rock, Kiss.
And they gave 0 fucks about being politically correct.
And I did listen to some Kiss tonight. Just saying, when I'm driving, I hear a variety of stuff. And
yeah.
Gate.
Check this old photo out, Doc.
Shut up, Eric.
It's unusual.
They're all right.
Tommy Lee is a little girl.
Yeah. Tattooed little girl.
Tommy Lee was the only really talented musician in Motley Crue.
Ooh.
And the only album of theirs I liked was Shout at the Devil. After that, they lost their way. I mean, when they came out in Pink Rhinestones, I was like, ugh.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Doon. Rex, stop scrolling through your Twitter.
Why?
Pay attention to the chat.
I am paying. Well, okay. Why are they engaging me personally? This is your stream.
I still don't understand Twitter. Like when I go to Twitter, it says notifications, and then there's a long list of @handles and says you were mentioned in this tweet, or somebody liked the tweet you were mentioned.
Oh, I don't know either. Yeah,
I can never find what mention. What are we even
you're
talking
right.
about?
Me too. I get tagged. Tagged is the word, but I get tagged all the time, and I just have to ask like you do. What are you working on there, Eric? Is that your?
This is just one of the potential sketches that Mark Davis wanted for the cover on his Golden Era Comics #5. That's Mr. Muck. I don't know how well you can see it or not.
Yeah, Mr. Muck. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted like a small head. And I can't even talk. A small head and shoulder sketch of Mr. Muck. So I don't know how well you can see it, but
yeah,
if you hold it still, we can see it.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm sorry.
We can see it perfectly. Yep.
There you go. That looks good, man.
Well, thank you.
And that one line, you might put a few lines just going down as like it's a brick wall. Just a suggestion.
What do you mean?
Rex, don't make artistic suggestions.
No, it's okay. I'm just curious what Rex is talking about. Like in the background, or
no, the line. You could do some mortar lines, and it would look like a brick wall.
Like he's
for what you're wanting. For what you're wanting, you already have it there. You know, they can
like his form. You mean
they can crop it in and get that head and shoulders.
Yeah. Oh my God, okay. Rex! He means make the line that's at the bottom a wall.
It wasn't that important.
Oh, it's okay.
That he's peeking over, and that's a bad idea. It's fine like it is.
Yeah, it was fine like it is. It's just a suggestion, Doc. I'm going to have to show off more of my art because I don't think people respect me as an artist. They just look at me as a writer. You and Dillard always busting my chops.
That's because we can.
Have a great day, Shadowhawk.
Yep, buddy. We'll see you later on. Rex.
What?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust your chops about art. But, I mean, you do have
we won't get into the modern art discussion.
I was just going to say, did you see the video that an art professor posted about modern art, wherein at the end of it, he shows a Jackson Pollock, and his students have to identify the significance of this painting and discuss. Mm-hmm. And then he reveals to his students, no, that was just a splatter on his painting apron.
Rex is quiet.
If they commented anything other than this looks like shit, they got an F.
Well, I would have got an F then, you know.
So the splatter on my painting smock. I have a schmuck. Say that word with me. Schmuck. I have a schmuck over there with paint spatter all over it. You're telling me that's art?
I like Jackson Pollock. I'll say that.
That was
a true Jackson Pollock. Not everything he did, but I think he was an innovator, and I can tell you why. I can give my reasons why. But if people think it's like one of his early critics said, it looks like baked macaroni. But that same critic became his greatest proponent for his art later. I mean, shortly after that. I mean, so he at least converted one, I guess. To me, there's some merit in what he did. Now, I'm just talking visually and what I studied. Now, you know, I get blowback because it's like, I don't think he was a good salesman, Pale Rider. I really don't. I think he was an alcoholic, probably an introvert, probably not the nicest person you'd want to meet, especially after he'd been drinking and on a bender. After all, he took another person's life along with his own in that car wreck at the end of his life. You know,
I don't see any value in his art.
Right.
And I even use that term with quotes.
But have you studied him?
Yes, I have, Rex.
Okay.
I teach art, remember?
Right. I know you do. And you say that I'm not going to say that. I was going to say that you say art stopped with the Impressionists, but that would be putting something on actually that you didn't say. But
I didn't say that. The Post-Impressionists were still good. The Hudson River School was very good.
But here's the difference, Doc. Here's the difference. Jackson Pollock, you've heard of. In former discussions, I said, do you like anybody in modern art from the 20th century? And you named 3 names, and I did not know any of them.
Yeah, I don't like
it. At least we know who Jackson Pollock is. If you've studied any at all about 20th century painting,
what I said was, you asked me about that question. I gave you examples of 3 living artists who right now are working.
Or living, yeah, and I don't know who they are.
Who will
and what do they paint? What do they paint?
Look up Mark Shatov.
I guess I'll have to. It'll be landscapes, right?
No.
No.
Mark Shatov is actually known as a portrait artist or a life painter.
Oh.
And then you can look up the amazing
How exciting.
William Intrican.
What's he do?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, pull up some examples.
Easily.
I'll tell you if it's any good.
Okay, you do that.
Did you know that Billy Idol was doing some artwork?
Yes, I did know.
I'm just saying with Jackson Pollock, he painted on the floor, which was like the Oriental style. That was an innovation because people were doing easel paintings. There were precursors to drip paintings before him, but no one took it to the next step before him. He shifted. He almost single-handedly, not just him, but he probably more so than anybody was in the forefront or the flagship of shifting the art capital of the world from Europe to New York City, which still is the art center of the world, arguably. Okay.
This is Mark Shatov's work. He is a currently living artist
and
who is undoubtedly an amazing artist.
Okay, but that could have been done in the 1800s. What is groundbreaking, inspirational about that?
What is inspirational?
What does it? How does it expand your consciousness? How does it?
Jackson Pollock does not expand consciousness.
How does it help your imagination?
Not on a canvas is not innovation.
This has been done since Rubens' time, Titian. I mean, it's been done and redone.
So
since Rembrandt.
So comic books have been done since Kirby. Comic books have been done since Kirby.
Yeah,
you guys are missing out on Billy Idol. He's got a painting out, and they're comparing him to Monet.
When Pollock came out, they said we've not seen anything like this before, and they were right.
And that joke.
There's the difference.
Yes,
that we've seen time and time again for centuries.
But that does not mean good. That doesn't mean good. No one had ever been stupid enough to just sling paint on a canvas and try to call it.
The first painting in the 20th century for over $1 million. So we got the financial thing down. He was in Live magazine. I'm just saying, if he at that time nobody had seen anything like that. It was like when the Millennial Falcon struck off, everybody went ooh ah. They'd not seen anything like that before. I'm just saying that there were certain innovations. He kept it on a canvas roll. Nobody was doing that. He cropped it like film. If he needed extra length of canvas, he would lengthen it or he would cut it short. He cropped it like film. That's an innovation.
But what value does that add to
art? You don't. It's like talking to a stone wall. You don't value his stuff, so it's not valuable. And yet people are willing to pay millions for that, and he'll be in museums when we're dust. But you don't see any value in it because you don't like it. It comes down to, I don't like it. I don't understand it. It's lazy. Not necessarily, Doc.
Is his work hanging in the Louvre? Is there anything about his art that a 3-year-old can't do?
Who's that? Who's this?
William Intrican using egg tempera and watercolor. He was trained by Andrew Wyeth, and he is a good friend of mine, and he is a world famous painter.
Okay. What do I get from that? Partial hanging chair, and what do I get from that? Except, it was done well.
You get it was done well.
Well, I'll give you this. If you're going to be an artist and you're going to do like modern stuff like that, you need to prove to the artwork world that you can do Rembrandt quality stuff. Rex, they made a big deal over the guy that put a crucifix in a jar. I know it all comes back to that, or hang a banana on the wall. A lot of this modern, and again, you're taking out context. We're talking the 30s and 40s here and 50s with Jackson Pollock, you know, and you're taking it out of context. You're going, oh, well, 1980 something with the urine and the crucifix. Okay, well, that was in that time, and that was in that time. They're non sequitur.
But you got to understand, if Renoir,
keep it in context of the time it was done.
If Renoir or Monet had dropped their palette onto a canvas and just made a shit mess, you could hang it side by side with a Pollock and get the same spiritual enlightenment from it.
Maybe more so than hanging partial chair. And I mean,
but
you look at that, or let's put it this way, haystacks. You know, a bunch of haystacks in different lighting. Ooh, okay, good technique. Fine. I mean, maybe innovative for the time. I mean, frankly, I look back on a lot of masterpieces and go, what's the big deal? But when I study it and I put myself back in that time, it was new. It was innovative. Nothing had been seen like that before.
Nothing has been seen like the haystacks since. You can tell time by looking at the sequence. The sunrise on the Seine, literally, animation didn't exist, but you can take the paintings today and put them in a scroll and see the sunrise without seeing the little ball. You just see the light.
I've seen them. I've seen the lily pads.
It's innovative.
I've seen
art.
I've seen originals. I've touched Picasso's. I've touched Modigliani.
Okay.
I've touched some of these masterpieces. I know. I've touched Vincent Van Gogh.
But I'm making a point.
Yeah.
You can see that even now and be blown away by it. What is the natural reaction to someone seeing a Pollock hanging on a wall?
Being blown away. Again, I wasn't blown away. I wasn't blown away, and I was this close to it, those haystacks. Several pictures of it up in Chicago in the Chicago Art Institute. I've seen them, Doc.
So I
wasn't blown away. Huh?
I've seen them live too.
Yeah. I've seen the big Seurat, which you probably don't like, do you?
I'm not a big fan of Seurat. No,
I knew it. You're not a big fan of Seurat. I'm not either. But, at least he was dealing with the mixture of color of the pixels,
But who did it better is Pissarro went and studied with Seurat for a while. His art quit selling because it was taking too long doing all the little dots and the dealers didn't want to buy it. But then he took what Seurat taught him back to Impressionism.
Yeah.
And he skyrocketed. He got rich.
Pissarro?
Yeah. And then you look at Cezanne, Toulouse-Lautrec.
Cezanne was a big early influence on all of them.
No, he was influenced by them, by the Impressionists. He was a post-Impressionist. They met.
Was he? It's been a while since I've studied that.
Monet actually.
Okay, maybe, and then he was a big influence on Cubism later.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was funny was when Monet introduced Cezanne to the Impressionists, Degas went to go shake his hand. No, it was Renoir. Renoir went to shake his hand, and Cezanne went, I haven't bathed in a month.
Wow, Shadowhawk, we might have passed each other because I was up there at the Chicago Art Institute in '89, I believe. Wow, that's like one of those chance encounters.
Mm-hmm.
We might have passed each other. I just appreciate it all, Doc, from the minimalism of the 60s to the art installations that weren't meant for galleries. I think that's innovation, that getting art out of the galleries and into a more natural setting. Now, we can talk what we like and dislike. I think that's what it comes down to. Art is subjective now, but people that don't understand modern art, they go, well, believe me, I came out and condemned it when Mapplethorpe came out with, the urine photograph, and he was, would photograph nude models and all that. He was a deviant, but I mean, a lot of artists from the past were as well. But I mean, it's just, and I'm not saying that those that aren't over the art scene, that it's not rigged and stuff like that. But when we're talking about at the time of Pollock, not so much. And did he spark something else? Yeah. Franz Klein and other artists that you probably don't care for, I'm sure, but still, you can see the progression or the degression, I guess, because I get all this, that was a communist, mystical, to destroy the beauty and art of, okay. I'm just talking for art's sake, why do we have to have imagery? And ultimately it will come back to imagery.
It still is.
It did for Jackson Pollock. He was sticking imagery in his stuff at the time of his death.
It still
so he
is.
Came full circle back to imagery. But nobody ever talks about that. It's just the drip paintings they got a problem with.
Because they suck.
He studied under Thomas Hart Benton.
So
that's what we get every time. So
he's
hanging in galleries. Museums.
So am I.
He'll be remembered while we're dust,
Yeah, but so will Charles Manson.
Notoriety
doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It means nothing. Gotcha. Okay. Translates into big bucks for EVS, but doesn't mean a thing. Gotcha.
Notoriety is not evidence of talent, is what I'm saying.
I'll give you that. But, I mean, you got to assign some type of value to it, I would think.
I think that in order to make art, you should be able to be an artist.
I like Pale Rider. Pale Rider says Blade Runner. I like Picasso's early work, not so much the Cubism. Again, the Blue period or the Rose period and other things like that. It was more imagery, and then Cubism gets a little wild. And he did ceramics, he did sculpture, he did a little bit of everything. He had different phases. He went through like a classical, sort of neoclassical period. Different periods in his stuff. You'd say, well, that's just trying what people are buying, or
Picasso first.
Whatever. Who knows the real story unless you lived it? What the man was like.
Oh my God,
Blade Runner. Documented.
Jesus Christ, Blade Runner.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was harsh.
Disavow. She was killed just a few days ago. Actually, her anniversary.
The thing with Picasso is that,
but I get the joke.
He was undoubtedly a fine artist before he started Cubism.
Who's that? Picasso. That's what I'm saying, Doc, is that you should show people just to shut them up. Yes, I can do this. I can produce a Rembrandt, like I can produce a Pizarro, like or whatever, but it's never enough for the critics. That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute.
Can an artist just do their thing?
Wait. The critics love them some Jackson Pollock.
I'm speaking not as professional art critics, okay? I'm talking the blue collar worker, man.
Degas said of the critics that were hating on his work, art critic, is that even a job? All right, Pale Rider, have a good one, brother.
Well, anyway, I'm not a big Degas fan. He's okay. He's okay.
He was an asshole. He was a terrible person.
Yeah.
He published an obituary for Monet.
Yeah.
When he canceled Monet, he tried to cancel Monet and take over the Impressionist movement. He was a horrible person.
Yeah.
Didn't like him.
Yeah, and that's kind of come into it, the personality of the person. But I mean, because it's going to reflect in their heart. I mean, reflect in their art, right?
Yeah.
But
but I loved the friendship between Monet, Renoir, Pissarro.
I guess the big difference
was
between
the
you and
it
me,
was
Doc,
well, let me
I
let me
think you,
finish.
I
Let me
think you, I
finish.
think
Let me
you think that art has to be beautiful, and
Yes, it
and
does.
art could be like Goya. It could be grotesque and still art.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that one, at least.
The artists' friendship that the Impressionists had in that core group. Renoir said the Monets always had a bedroom reserved just for him, so he could just go and hang out for as long as he wanted to. They'd go paint together. They'd go out and do these great plein air
Yeah,
works together. Even Sargent
and
went
this was Renoir and who?
Monet.
Monet. Okay. Yeah.
Sargent even went to go study with Monet to learn Impressionism, and
Yeah.
was blown away by it. But
Hey, James.
he knew where his bread was buttered, so he kept on doing the portraits. And of course, he's famous for that. And by the way, Chatov is from the Sargent School of figure painting, and he's the only living person that I know of that is doing that and making good money doing it. Like show up and do it.
Since I've been on YouTube, I know that not everybody's into modern art, but I thought some of these younger people like Ali or something would be for sure. And I'm really surprised. I'm about the only guy here. I am 56-year-old old man, and I'm the only one that likes modern art. What the hell? I mean, damn, I guess I went through the wrong century, 20th century, damn. I went through half of it.
I get that you like what you like. I get that.
No, I can give you reasons why I like it, Doc. It's not just that I like it. That's what I think the critics of modern art are giving me. They go, oh, it's, okay, well, give me reasons. You can't. It's just, I don't think it was innovative. Okay, blanket statement. Wow, I can do generalities all day long. I tell you exactly why I like Pollock. He cropped it like film. Very innovative. He painted on the floor. And it wasn't just the drip stuff.
Wait, did you say I can't give reasons for why I don't like Pollock?
I'm just...
that aren't generalities?
Not just you, Doc. Just about everybody I've talked to about modern art very few times on YouTube. But they do these blanket carpet bombing statements and don't give you any depth to
I will give
why
you
they believe what they believe. And here I am giving reasons of why.
I will give you specifics.
Okay, give me some reasons then.
Every single art composition, from Leonardo da Vinci to comic book art, requires that certain elements exist. Areas of high interest, areas at rest, leading the eye through, visual texture, all these elements, the complementary color schemes, whatever they may be, and they are almost all absent from Picasso.
You can do it in different combinations. I like minimalism, and I know you're not going to get minimalism.
You just went to the I like. I just gave specifics. You said I couldn't give specifics, and then you go to subjective.
Okay, I'll give you that, but I see value in it.
I didn't say you didn't see value in it. I said I can give you objective reasons why I don't think it's art, and I just did.
Okay, but that, as you're recounting some of that, Pollock has some of that. It definitely has texture.
It occasionally has some of that, and it's all accidental.
Oh, wow. It's not controlled at all by him. Wow, it's just accidental.
No.
Okay. It's just random. It's Dodism. What the hell? Come on, Doc. Give me something better than that. Give me some credit. Yeah, and here I am arguing for Jackson Pollock when I'm not Jackson Pollock. I mean, for modern art, but you show me a couple examples, one artist and one that's hanging in the Louvre, for God's sake. We'd all like to hang in the Louvre, I suppose, for some odd reason, which the Louvre will be torn down by the Muslims once they breed the French out. So, well, I mean, you chuckle, but it's true. When
No,
you have a
I-
birth rate
because
of like 10 children to maybe one or two of the French, they're going to lose the vote. They're going to lose their country.
home. I agree with you.
Eiffel Tower will be
That's
destroyed.
that's what I was chuckling about.
Yeah.
There's a saying that, and by the way, I'll send you an essay from the Art Restoration Center that I
Okay.
belong to that says if your art is indistinguishable from the trash in the dumpster when it's thrown out, it ain't
Right.
art.
Well, that's just a trope. It's just
But it's true. It's actually true and based on a true story where a janitor thought that an art installation was just
well,
garbage.
Maplethorpe's less than that because that should just be flushed.
Yeah, and he threw it in the dumpster.
But
and they
he's
said, well, wait a minute. And they
okay.
said,
Go ahead.
They said, no, that was the art installation. So they told the artist to go pick his shit out of the dumpster, and he couldn't even identify it. But that's supposed to be art and innovative, but it's not art. There was a guy I watched, and the series is on YouTube. I would have to search to find it. But basically, MoMA was doing a art installation scholarship or whatever, $100,000. And the second runner-up literally strung a clothesline and hung his father's shirts on it and said, "These were my father's shirts, and now they're empty." And they were, "Ah, are you shitting me with that?"
Yeah, I mean, the banana thing again. I'd already brought up the banana. Yeah, that's crazy. I disavow that along with
I know you do. I know
Maplethorpe's.
I'm not.
And he can intellectualize it all he wants. That the cheapening, a cheap plastic crucifix of religion and modernity, and
yes,
and it was a beautiful picture. If you didn't know if it was urine, it's like, oh, a crucifix with golden glow around it. But I mean, people express themselves in different ways. And if people want to pay that for a duct tape banana, more power to them.
Well, let me put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Think about singing.
Singing.
Think about singing.
Uh-huh.
Think about shows, which I don't agree with the show, but think about American Idol. If you come out and you just screech into the microphone.
Yeah, I never watched American Idol, but yeah, I got you.
But pretend you're in a band and you're auditioning singers, and someone comes out and they just screech into the microphone.
Right.
You would just say, "Next, get the psycho out of here."
Right.
Why?
Yep.
Why? It's supposed to be subjective. It's supposed to be, maybe that person is innovative, and it's not. It's just a person that can't sing.
Oh, Doc, I just came across an image of a different kind of clown.
I want to see what Eric's doing, but he walked away for a minute, I think.
Okay. I'm going to send you a picture. I think if the clown ever gets resurrected, he needs to have like this look to him.
Okay. I'll show you when we talk privately. I have the initial sketches of a clown villain that I did before you sent me your thumbnails.
Okay.
So you can see the.
Yeah. Well, it's Brandon Lee with the crow makeup.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, yeah, I know what that looks like.
Yeah. But I sent you a picture of it, That could be a good resurrected clown.
Well, heck yeah.
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 Different,
Insane Clown Posse had some wicked looking makeup too.
Clown Posse?
Insane Clown Posse.
Are you watching Orville, or do you like sci-fi?
Yeah. I haven't watched Orville, not for any discernment reason, just because I haven't gotten around to it. Eric, let's see what you're working on, buddy.
Did you see the first or second season?
I'll check that out. Wow, man, that one on the left gives me an Ultraman vibe all day. I love it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's an Android character. I'm using the public domain comic character called Bronze Man.
Okay.
So he's an enemy of Mr. Muck, or he's becoming one. So
Fantastic. I love to see the old stuff get resurrected too.
yeah, I do as well. Yeah, I mean, Bronze Man, he was not an android or anything, but I just thought it was a cool name. It's available, so I thought I'd use it. So,
Absolutely, no reason not to.
yeah.
What you got in your stash over there? Let's see. Are those
my pens?
Yeah, are those Pigmas?
Let me take a look. Actually, it's a variety. These are some vintage Faber-Castell technical pens. This one here is.
Is that a rapidograph?
It's like a rapidograph, but it's a lot sturdier. These are I was able to find some new old stock that were available on eBay from the seller, and this one's 0.03. I'm not 0. I'm sorry, 0.000. The very fine, and a 00, another vintage Faber-Castell TG technical pen. And again, it's a new old stock. I got some ink and some tips that I found online as well.
Very cool.
And this is just a disposable Tachikawa, if I'm pronouncing that right. School G nib pen, which I like to use from time to time.
Let me see the nib on that.
Yeah, it's like a fountain pen.
Yeah. Like a crow quill. Very cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I have to be careful with this paper and the other paper because it likes to, the tines, like to dig into the.
Yes, Lord, and then you get bleed.
Exactly. Yeah, so I have to be really careful. Although I like it, though, I just have to, be mindful of the paper that I'm using it on.
Yep.
And Jason Robinson, also known as Jiminy Cricket, he really he praises this pen. In fact, he has a video, a tutorial on how to refill this thin line. Let me take a look at it. Sumiro brush pen. It's very, very fine tip.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's very fine. I love it too. And it's disposable, but he has a video on how to refill these if you want to refill them.
Yeah, I actually think I saw that. And also, if you can't refill it, you can always dip it in your India ink.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think I thought about doing that. That's a good tip. I'll have to remember that one. And just a variety of different. Let me take a look here. I can't pronounce the blasted name on this one, but it's.
I don't even try on some of them.
Yeah. It's Baoke. Whether it's Korean or Japanese, I have no clue. But it's another disposable. But I like the tip. Kind of. This is a brush. They have a variety of tips. This one's a brush, and let me take a look here. Excuse me. There's a soft bristle and a hard bristle. This is in between, so you get some pretty fine lines and everything on that. And and this is a uni pin, and they have different types of nibs on these. This one's a softer one, but they also have the steel ones, which are really nice, kind of like a rollerball type nib. But I usually try to get those, but these were a little bit cheaper, so I got that.
Very cool. Very cool.
And just one more, the Kuretake brush pen.
Oh yeah. I love brush pens, but I am not adept at maintaining them. Mine die untimely deaths.
That's half the battle, is trying to maintain everything, make sure they don't dry out, and I hear you, shaking them and cleaning them, but
All right, you guys hold down the chat for a minute. I have got to go and take my morning meds. I'll be right back.
Excuse me. Oh. Are you doing okay, Rex?
Coughing my head off.
Oh, well,
or was blowing my nose. That's why I'm so red.
Oh, you got a bit of a cold or pollen or allergies?
No, never suffer from any of that. Thankfully. I've been healthy pretty much all my life, and I make no apology for it. I must be doing something
good.
right.
Well, that's really good. I used to be.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not unsympathetic to people that have had ailments, but in more recent years, I've had a few issues, but believe me, I've went through trials and stuff, but pretty much healthy.
Well, that's good though.
I think it starts off early in life. I ran track and I wasn't the best by any means. The only thing I excelled at was in college, and up against some real professionals, I'd probably suck. But, I was pretty good at fencing. I enjoyed fencing.
All right, guys, I'm actually going to shut it down. The wife just texted, and she is broke down between work sites, so I got to go pick her up.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Thanks for letting me pop on.
I'm glad to have you guys always. Chat, you guys rock. Later. Peace out. I hope the car broken down is maybe she ran out of gas.
Later, Doc.
See you guys later. Bye.